Good morning guys, today is a very beautiful day. We are currently in USJ1 and this particular area is where there are quite a number of reputable shops in the motorsport industry. We are looking at KZR, I think Drift House is somewhere here, there's an RX-7 specialist down the road, and today we are going to be visiting MonsterMax Tunes here in USJ1. So these guys are soundproofing specialists. They also specialize in undercarriage sealing, chassis stiffening. We are talking about chassis foaming, and that, my friend, is Mr. Sam Leong. He's a very shy guy and he's not going to be talking much to us today. What we are going to be doing today is we are going to be putting a new layer of undercarriage sealing for my car. Yes, this video is sponsored by MonsterMax Tunes. There you go. So this is a very new shop, as Sam was previously partnering with somebody else in Sunway. He was with DB Auto House and this is currently his own venue. So this is my car, work in progress. He has a small nice little showroom inside here, which is, yeah, it's freezing inside here. You got a 1 horsepower aircon up there. So various soundproofing solutions offered to customers based on their budget and what car they drive. Different car, different noise frequencies, so different thickness, different materials, all right here. So he's also specialized in, yeah, sorry for the English, I just woke up. He's also specialized in accessories, audio. It's a small nice little showroom. Good thing for a start, as this is a brand new shop, probably a month or 2 months old. So there are mid to high end items as well, or decent. And his chassis solution by Wurth, by 3M, by I think Sika is also here. Nice little cozy little showroom, and of course there is a chair for you to plant your ass while waiting for your car to be done, and yeah, a fridge probably full of beer. So what we are going to be looking at would be 2 products today. Sika Guard 6620 and underbody protection from Wurth. These two are the same items. They will actually give you a good layer of protection underneath your undercarriage. Okay, your undercarriage is one of the most neglected part of your car. You may spend a lot of money, you may spend a lot of, you may invest a lot of in your car, audio, soundproofing, suspension, engine, paint job, restoration, interior, changing all your bushers and whatnot. But the question is, what about your undercarriage? Stone chips, bump scrapes, harsh road conditions. You're talking about roads in Malaysia or anywhere in the world, wherever you are, and you neglect your undercarriage. So what we're gonna be doing here today is we're giving my car a nice new undercarriage seal, which is sponsored by Sam Leong, MonsterMax Tunes, USJ1. So I'm gonna be pausing the video. I'm gonna be heading out to the undercarriage of the car and we'll see what's at the bottom. Be right back. Okay, so Sam is a very tedious guy, okay? All 4 wheels have been taken out with proper markings. Front left, front right, rear left, and this is a car. So what he's gonna be doing is he's gonna be taking out all the undercarriage parts. You are talking about the 4 wheels, removing the entire exhaust system, removing the rear wheel arch lining. Let me see if I can get a clear image of the wheel arch. There's an insulator here. This is bare metal which will be painted black. All here. So when I mention undercarriage wear and tear, you are also talking about corrosion, rust and whatnot. So a very fine example would be this nice clean sheet metal here. It used to be like this. See, it's soft, it's insulated, well insulated, and this is bare metal. So again, this car used to love a lot of speed bumps. The car was exceptionally low, and looking at both the tracks of the chassis on the left and right, there you go, that was the left side, this was the right side. This whole undercarriage is gonna be coated with a new coat of either coating from Sika or Wurth. So this is pretty much all of it. There used to be foam from Auto Foam previously. Spare tire wheel well, fuel tank. So yeah, the exhaust will be taken down today. Everything will be scrubbed nicely, chemically soaked. It will be washed up, nice and clean, dry, and they will proceed with the coating. So needless to say, the transmission or exhaust tunnel will also be removed during the process. So like I mentioned earlier, Sam is a very tedious guy, and you can actually see that he has a pretty neat workshop. Tools, poster, no palm prints on the walls. Yeah, there are 2 Volkswagens outside there. There's a limited edition Pajero Sport. Yeah, sorry about the lighting. And he's also an authorized dealer for what you call Thinsulate. This is by 3M. These are very good acoustic absorbing materials, and of course there are copies, there are fake ones there which is not as good as 3M. He has other purpose for it. It's something to do with different frequencies and whatnot. So anyways, back to the car. I'll be videoing the process of disassembly and of course the washing. This is a very labor intensive job, hence it's gonna be time consuming. The car will be here for 3 days. I'm just thankful that there is a spare car for me to use. So see you shortly, guys. Okay, so pretty much everything has been taken off. If you look at the transmission or exhaust tunnel, taken off. Exhaust, taken off. Partially washed already. Sam is going to grind off the rust that's right here before any coating. Exhaust all the way to the back. Exhaust tunnel, this one is going to be taken off this has been riveted in, it will be drilled out, and new rivets or screws will be in place. So usually for normal shops, what they do is jack the car up and start washing and start shooting, nothing taken out, including the tires. And this is a very tedious job. Sam is doing his work very nicely. Everything taken off. Well, fuel tank is not going to come off for sure due to certain complications. If your car is a rear-wheel drive, most likely the long shaft will come off as well. So rear wheel arch lining, you can see it's bare metal, no insulation, no coating, no nothing. Yeah, wires are a little bit messy, but yeah, wheel arch has came off already. There's a rear wheel lining, exhaust tunnel, and he's drilling. Okay, that's all guys. Next short video will be washing everything off, soaking everything in chemical, scrubbing, making sure good adhesion, make sure everything sticks. Okay, so while the guys are washing the undercarriage, I might as well explain to you the full functions of this and the purpose of getting this done. So like I mentioned earlier, most car enthusiasts or petrol heads, they do spend a lot on the engine, suspension, exterior paint job, interior sound system, but again the most neglected part would be the undercarriage. So what I have in front of the camera right here is Sika's Sika guard under coating. So bare metal, okay, and this is Sika's finishing. It's a little bit soft, it's not rubbery, but it has to be soft as it's going to be absorbing a lot of stone chips and road noise, harsh vibrations. So what you're doing is something like putting a new layer on the undercarriage to absorb whatever vibration, and it's basically making the car look like new and of course feel like new. So functions here, it says high abrasion, impact resistance, long lasting protection of underbody, vibration reduction, and yes, it remains flexible when it's dry. So you can put on parts where it actually moves and bends, parts like your wheel arch, your fender liner if necessary, and whatnot. So it's going to look something like that, okay, without, or if you don't have any coating, like new cars like Saga, BLM and all those, you don't have this sort of coating, and sooner or later it's gonna look like that, okay. After coating, it's going to actually look like that. So everything is nicely coated. Yeah, that's after all the rust has been rid off, okay. So it's semi-reflective, and yeah, you can actually see, you can actually feel it's a couple of millimeters thick, depending on the amount of cans, the amount of bottles you use for during application. It determines the result. It affects the result on how the car is going to look like and feel like. So having to put multiple layers might or might not be necessary depending on the kind of car you drive and also depending on your budget, okay. So the recommended the recommended cans for each number of car is roughly 3 to 5 depending on your size, okay. For the wheel arch alone, Sam told me he's going to be using roughly 1 to 1.5 cans of either one product, and the rest will be used for the rear wheel well, the undercarriage tracks, remainder what's on top of the wheel arch, possibly the subframe as well. I'll leave it to him, I'll leave it to the expert to do what he wants to do. So yes, once again, this is all its purpose of application and its results. Okay, you want to have the best protection for your undercarriage, especially if you live in a place where it's always snowing, where there's salt on the road, or even if you are living by the seaside in a coastal area where salt and rust is your number one enemy for your vehicle. So let's just move the camera back to Sam and see what is he up to. Yep, he's currently washing. Focus. Let's just go out and have a look and see what is he up to. There you go. He's still washing and chemically soaking everything just to make sure good adhesion. So even washing itself takes several hours, many hours of washing and scrubbing, just to make sure he has a nice good job, a nice clean surface to get everything sticking. And once he's done washing, we're gonna let it dry and proceed with applying the coat. So back to washing, everything has already been chemically soaked with Wurth products, and you can actually see all the dirt and grime that's on the floor that's coming out right there, that's coming out from the bottom of the car. So you want a nice clean undercarriage. If you're a little bit OCD, this is the right place to come to, guys. Okay guys, so everything has been washed clean. Sam actually has to wash the overall 3 times. As you can see in the camera, everything is nice and clean, spotless. And what he's currently doing now is he's grinding off whatever visible rust there is in the undercarriage. This is very fucking important, as any rust formation will compromise the adhesion of the undercarriage seal. You will start to see bubbling, oxidization, and the seal not being able to stick. There will be plenty full of problems if you actually leave the rust underneath the seal after any application. So I'm going to just move the camera around the undercarriage and not say anything, just to look, just to show you guys how clean the undercarriage is. There you go, all nice and clean. You can actually see bare metal now. All this will be treated nicely. Fuel tank, the wheel arch, bare metal, yeah. So as per what you saw in the camera just now, everything is nice and clean already, and you can actually see bare metal on the wheel arch. On the rear wheel arch, you can see it's all blue. There's no seal, no nothing. So these are, if you have a car that's already been maximized on soundproofing the interior in terms of anti-vibration mats, sound insulators, everything in cabin, this is one area that is left to be treated. You're able to add more layers of soundproofing. You're able to put multiple layers of underseal under the wheel arch just to insulate tire noise. And once again, I'm gonna be ending this video for a little while and let Sam continue doing his cleanup. The next video will be application of the underseal already. Okay, it's a little bit quieter now, and everything is nice and clean. You can see it's squeaky clean. It's been rubbed down with rubbing alcohol, and yeah, bare metal, just prime. You can see it's bare metal. Everything here will be nicely coated, spotless clean now. We'll apply a little bit of primer here. After this is after grinding. You don't see a lot of undercoat here anymore. Basically, what we saw previously that was all black was actually dirt. I thought it was undercoating. I thought originally it's got a nice layer, something like this, but apparently it's spotted everywhere. And now what we're gonna be doing is the whole fucking car. So once again, look at the wheel arch. Wheel well, clean sheet metal. Okay, day 2. Everything has been washed, chemically soaked, dried up overnight. This is a 3-day process. So you can see here all bare metal. Initially, I thought there was an old layer of undercoat around the car, something that looks like this. So wear and tear, stone chips, all here. Bare metal here, transmission, exhaust tunnel. Everything has been wrapped up. Rust has been taken care of with rust converter. It's been nicely primed. There used to be rust around here, here. So having this area coated is going to benefit a lot in terms of heat insulation from the exhaust, especially the Nissan R35. A further view, there'll be a thin layer coated on the fuel tank as well, just because we can. Slight protection from stone chips and if I smash into any speed bumps. So like I mentioned yesterday, this is a wheel arch. There is nothing, no coating, no nothing, just a couple of layers here and there. ABS wire is visible now. See, it's very thin here. We're gonna do something about it. Under the exhaust subframe, spare tire. There's already some. You can see this is fairly soft. Let's just focus. Fingernail. See, it's going to be a similar coat. Everything is in the midst of being wrapped up, so we're not going to be over spraying and over coating or over painting. Anti-roll bar, absorbers, engine bay area, lower arm, brakes, slowly wrapping things up. Even the part of the body as well. See, upper arm, front absorbers, ABS, brake hose, all nicely wrapped up. So it's a very tedious work. If you go to somewhere that does it for less than $300 or less than 1,000 ringgit, it's car jack up, spray, done. there'll be overspraying on your exhaust, on your car body, and they will not hold any responsibility towards any damage done. See here, this is the front. Let me just get the lights on for you. Oops, sorry, bare metal everywhere. All this will be coated. So again, if you live by the seaside or if you live in a country with snow, this is going to be very beneficial for you. I believe that's all for today. Thank you guys. Okay guys, so apart from applying the underseal to the chassis of the car, Sam will also be putting this material into the cabin. This is from 3M. This is Thinsulate, being used by OEM manufacturers like Lexus. Lexus is a very quiet car. He's gonna be applying this into the four doors, into the floorboard, the entire cabin. So when I mentioned that Sam is a very tedious guy, his stuff is pretty much the same. So things are being cut nicely into place, not just stuffing, jamming everything inside. Properly cut, properly applied, and there you go. So 3M will absorb certain frequency that's being left out by vibration dampers, by foam cells. So you're looking at all these vibration damping materials. This will absorb certain frequencies, certain vibrations. Yep. Sam is doing his marketing. So you have foam, you have closed cell foam pads as well, absorbing tire noise. There you go. Yep, let's get out of the showroom. So having to apply these materials, it will also give you the very airy feeling. Having too much vibration dampening materials and too much foam pads will give you the pressurized feeling you have in your cabin of the car. You're gonna be sitting in a car that feels like an airplane up in the air with pressure in your ears from having too much soundproofing. So the 3M is going to cure that for sure. Like I mentioned, absorbing certain frequencies. We are talking about high frequencies, and if you're on semi-slick tires with humming noise, with high frequency noise from the road, from compressing air between the tire treads, this material helps a lot. I had this in my previous car, the Perdana, and tire noise was actually close to zero. Put the noisiest tire you can find in the market, you don't hear anything. So if you have the budget for this, I would say go for it. So apart from applying the 3M Thinsulate, Sam was looking around the car for any leftover extremely thin panels to dampen any vibration. Like this is very thin, this is fine. So one particular thin part was a rear speaker deck. This is going to eliminate exhaust drone and further tire noise. So just listen to this. You can actually see it flexing. Super thin. So that part has already been done. You try to knock and see. Kasih ketuk tengok. Okay, sini. Okay. So you see the difference. And yep, this is going to be beneficial. This is what's being used. Medium thickness, not too thick, not too dense. And that's all for now. So this is day do, Sam has already started applying layers and layers of Wurth under seal onto the car, onto the underneath of the car. As you can see, previously it was actually bare metal down here under where the muffler is. It's all nice and black now. There'll be 3 layers. Part of the fuel tank just because we can, and now the exhaust or transmission tunnel, you can see layer upon layer being applied. Everything is covered evenly. As for the wheel arch, that will be probably the last part to be applied, so I will also take a video on the wheel arch as well later. So this is the wheel arch area. We're gonna be coating the whole thing. So layer by layer by layer, as per what you can see in the camera. Initially it was just blue, pure bare metal that's underneath the wheel arch, layered by a soft piece of wheel arch lining. So we are gonna be putting a layer of Thinsulate in between the wheel arch lining and the wheel arch itself, on top of a couple of layers of Wurth under seal. So it's going to produce a very quiet ride. And as for owners of mazdaspeed 6 in coastal areas, in places by the seaside, in New Zealand or wherever you are on this globe, most of you guys actually face rust issues on the rear quarter panels, and this is pretty much why. It's because there is no anti-rust, there is no under seal underneath these areas. So if you want to be rust proofing your car, this is the right way to do it. Sam is also providing warranty for any peeling or whatsoever that is not caused by speed bumps. If there is an issue with your workmanship, he will be redoing it free of charge. Yeah, I'm currently in the waiting room with a wireless microphone. It's a little bit too noisy out there for me to talk to you guys. He did mention that it's going to be probably 2 to 3 layers of coating. Yep, so far so good. He's making sure that there are no spots left uncovered. So like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned many times that Sam is a very tedious guy. Everything has been covered, it's been properly masked off. There will be no overspraying over your paint job, your rear fenders, your wheel arch, no body parts, your brakes, your suspension. It is all nicely wrapped up. His workshop is pretty bright and he still uses a light just to make sure, like I say, he doesn't miss anything. Okay, I'm gonna be heading back out to stop the video as this is a very long process. So look at the inside. Okay, everything has been nicely coated. Yep, all done, nice and grey. Okay, so this is the front wheel arch. It's not even dry yet, as you can see. Initially it was pure bare metal, so it's nicely coated already. It was very thin sheet metal here. It's got a layer of under seal now, no more rust issues or no more potential rust issues. It's almost dry, it's soft, you can knock it. It's harder than what it is now, probably a couple of millimeters thicker. Yep, see everything, upper arm, suspension all wrapped up nicely. And the passenger side, totally not dry yet. Just done its application. And that's all for today. For tomorrow, we'll be assembling everything and proceeding with soundproofing the 4 doors with Thinsulate. Thank you guys. Okay, so day 3 today. Everything has been cured, has been dried up. Installation of all the miscellaneous bits and pieces is already in process. Everything that has been wrapped off has been taken off. As you can see, the coil springs, the absorbers. There are no traces of overpainting. the exhaust heat shields has been reinstalled, of course you can always paint them in a different color and do whatever you like depending on your personal preference, but for me, yeah, forget it, as it's under the car, it's gonna be dirty again. So looking at the coating here, is nice and thick. It's probably 80-90% cured. Inner layer might still be not dry yet. Okay, the fuel tank as well is nice and solid. So the chassis rails, super dense. Additional layers has been applied here to, as that's one of the lowest part of the chassis. This is the wheel well. Let me just get my torchlight. So it's a nice black and thick. There will be an additional layer of acoustic pad here, as this area was a little bit thin, and the previous guy wasn't able to soundproof the chassis from the inside of the car, so it's gonna be done from the outside. So here you see Sam trying to rivet in the exhaust heat shield, big rivets, as he had to drill them out. It wasn't bolted into the holes, it was actually riveted in initially. So spare tire wheel well, nice and thick. The rear, the back area where the muffler sits is all black now. Remember, it was bare metal previously. And of course, not to forget the wheel well. The rear wheel arch wheel well is also nice, black and thick now. It's properly insulated. So going back to the rear wheel arch lining, 3M Thinsulate to better absorb echo, tire noise, tire echo. And they're also currently working on the front fender lining, the front wheel arch. These are new, somebody gave them to me for free, thank you Randy. And again, his employee is doing a very good job by having to follow these lines along the wheel arch, punching proper holes. Nicely done. You can never find people doing a job like this tidy in recent days. And this is the front. So also to take note, if you are a DIY guy, remember that this particular material from 3M works best if it is not compressed. It has to be thick, it has to be expanded, it has to be floating. Yeah, that's my exhaust right there. Back to the liners. This itself are already fabric, it has been washed, it has been soaked. Insulators from 3M being stapled down properly. So the car is supposed to be ready today. It usually takes about 3 days to complete an undercarriage job. However, Sam needs an additional day to put the Thinsulate down into the cabin underneath the carpets, the rear seats, the 4-door trims, the door panel. He has to take them off, and that's gonna be taking an additional day. apart from that, whatever broken clips, whatever clips that were taken off, whatever that is broken will be replaced with new clips supplied by Sam. These are supposed to be chargeable. However, you can buy this off your online store from Shopee, from Amazon, from eBay. These are fairly cheap. These are for your interior double lining. These are for your fenders and whatnot, your grill, your bumper. You can use them for basically whatever. Yeah, you got a nice looking Golf R there. It's a Mach 6 Golf R. Oops, sorry. Kick the tripod. Nice looking semi-bucket seats. I would sell both my kidneys to have one of these cars, man. Anyways, I believe that is all for today. I'm running a little bit short of time today as I have to head back home as soon as possible for things to be done. So I hope to continue one more video on having the door trips taken out and these insulators being put onto the door cuts. He's going to be cutting them nicely, as you can see, the circles there, the circles there, and a square there, the square marks there. The same thing will be done for the door cuts, and hopefully this reduces tire noise, especially for the higher frequency that's emitted by semi-slick tires. You're talking about horribly noise tires like the Achilles 123S and whatnot. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you shortly. So here you can see the guys putting the exhaust heat shield back onto the rear of the car. Like I mentioned, originally it was riveted, so Sam is going to put bigger rivets in, which requires a little bit of drilling, like what you can see here. There was a question that I asked him if it was gonna be rusting or not from the drills that from the drill holes that he's gonna be making. So being a tedious guy as he is, after every drill hole is done, after every drill hole is enlarged, he sprays an additional layer of rubber seal just to seal up whatever metal to air contact there is. Basically, most shops or most car accessory guys, when they start drilling holes, they don't bother priming the bare metal area, which will lead to rusting issues in future. So you can see him shaking the can, you can see him now drilling. Yep, drilling and drilling and drilling. And then he'll test fit the rivet. There you go. And spray shoot. So each and every hole, same steps, and the rivet goes in. So far so good. Yep. Also to note that there is no noticeable overspraying or overpainting of the undercoat around the body of the car. There were numerous complaints on a different applicator down in Kapung on issues like this, but it's not happening here. Not a chance. Okay, so what we are looking at is the door cut, the door trim of my car. This is a rear left. Okay, there is an original insulation right here which doesn't do shit. You put this beside your ear, there is no, close to no acoustic absorption compared to 3M Thinsulate. You put that beside your ear, it goes quiet immediately. So we're gonna pull this off. Yep, it's as simple as that, and replace all this with Thinsulate, hopefully for better road noise absorption. So looking at going back to the car, it's already got two separate layers of vibration dampening. Let's go to the car. Yeah, I'm not a very tall guy, so I'm actually walking with a tripod. And here. So, two layers, one on the outer skin of the door and an additional layer on the inner skin of the door. Very solid. And yeah, I got original crap speakers. Sorry, it's a bit noisy as the exhaust shop next door is actually, I don't know, it's an Satra Evo or something. Testing. So far so good. The car is gonna be done soon. 4 doors and a floorboard. Thinsulate. This is the material to be used. Nice and thick. If you want to know how good this material is, come over to the shop and test it yourself. We can actually prove it. This is one of the best materials used in the acoustic insulation market. So Sam's worker is going to be cutting the new insulation exactly like what you see here, with proper holes and shapes. Job well done. Okay, so the car has been sent off to get a little bit of warranty work done. Door cuts have been left with Sam, and all 4 has already been done. There you go. A little bit of a thinner material for certain acoustic reasons. Here's another one, and here. At the same time, there's a nice FD2R here getting work done as well. Full soundproofing, I believe. So again, this is it, all 4 doors. That's all for now. Okay, and we are back at MonsterMax Tunes. It's currently 9 something. Car is done after day number don't know what. Delays were caused by my side due to time constraint, personal time constraints. We are back in USJ1. You can hear cars driving everywhere. You can hear some RB. Night is still young. It's nice and quiet. So the car is done. Whatever clips in the panel were already replaced. Whatever that was broken has been replaced. Everything's been put back nicely, nice and tight. I have already tested the car. Overall it's way quieter, especially with the addition of the Thinsulate soundproofing on the floorboard, the wheel arches, the trunk area. You can see a Mazda Lentis there. Yeah, a bit noisy. So everything's back to square one. Just nice. The undercoat, it made the car solid. It made it feel quiet. You don't hear the tires picking up a lot of sand anymore, and it's nice and black. There's no rust, no nothing. And the overall of the car, it feels more planted to the road, as the whole chassis is being held together. So apart from that, this is going to mark the end of the video, and thank you very much to Sam. There's a boss. Yep, again, he's a shy guy. He doesn't talk much, but he gets the job done right. And hopefully, if you guys are interested, if you guys would like to get your car done, if you want to get your chassis foaming done, your underseal done, soundproofing solutions, this is the right guy to go to. So MonsterMax Audio USJ1, Subang, Jaya. I am a happy man. Thank you.